everybody? Back with another real estate class. Today we're gonna dive into Connecticut's Connecticut's down payment assistance. So if you guys aren't familiar with down payment assistance, first-time homebuyer programs, all states have some type of program out there. Some are a lot better than others. Even some of your guys' counties and cities also have programs as well. So make sure you guys are looking into that. Before I get started, like I said, we're going to look at Connecticut today, but I don't have that many of you guys with me today. Are any of you guys from Connecticut? If none of you guys are from Connecticut, if you guys just let me know where you guys are from that are in class right now, I would rather just look at wherever you guys are from instead of diving into Connecticut. Or if you guys really want to see what Connecticut has going on, I can go ahead and dive into that for you guys. So just kind of let me know for those of you that are in class, you're in Maryland. Anybody else, a few of you guys that are on here, where are you guys from? And Kansas City. Texas has a really great program. All right, we'll kind of run through this pretty quick. I'll look at Maryland for you guys. We'll take a quick peek at Missouri, and then we'll just take a quick look at Texas. So if anybody happens to come in and they're from, you're from Connecticut. All right, so we got a Connecticut person in here. But for those of you guys like Maryland, I did a class already on Maryland. I did a class already on Texas. It's uploaded in the university section. I haven't touched on Missouri yet, but Jacob, I'll make sure we knock out Missouri for you. All you have to do is go to Google and type in down payment assistance for Missouri, and the information will come up for you. Let me go ahead and switch my screen. Give me 1 second. All right. So for those of you that are either from Connecticut or near Connecticut and could take advantage of this program, go to Google, type in Connecticut down payment assistance, keep it nice and simple. They have a few different links on here. Some links that I love to always tell you guys about is go to HUD.gov. Very simple. There's a lot of programs you can find there as well. They have a lot of different stuff. If you want to go specifically to the home ownership programs like the down payment assistance, first-time homebuyer programs, you click on home ownership. And then what you want to do is you want to scroll down and you want to look for home buying programs in your state. And then here is a list of all states, including Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and I think that's the only one, the only extras that's on there. So all of our states, including Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands, if any of you guys are out there or have family members out there or ever plan on potentially moving out there, go ahead and take a look, see what's offered, and just see what's on there. If any of you guys are in the military, go on to va.gov, kind of go through, and it's kind of bigger than just getting a VA home loan. There's a lot of great information on here. I was literally just talking with somebody for like an hour, putting them on game on how they can use their GI Bill to produce income for themselves, and then just like a lot of other good information on there. So make sure you guys go check out va.gov if you guys qualify for any type of veteran benefits. Make sure you guys are looking at usda.gov. Some of you guys that live out in smaller areas, you might be able to qualify to do some rural real estate investing. A good way to get into a property with no money down, especially if you're already in the area. And then some other tools. So yeah, you guys go ahead and check those out when you guys get a chance. But anyways, we're going to dive into this. This DAP is what they call it, the Down Payment Assistance Program for Connecticut. There's a lot of good programs that they offer. I'm curious for you that's near Connecticut, that's about 30 minutes out. If you've ever went over to that side into Connecticut, what are the home prices looking like? Like what type of properties have you looked at? Are you familiar at all what the pricing is out there? That kind of can help me when we kind of go look at homes out there to kind of see how you can kind of mirror these two programs. I mean, I'll look and find out, but if you already happen to know, just let me know in the chat. But anyways, so here's that website. I'll send it to you guys in the chat if you guys want to go and kind of follow along. All right, so they offer quite a few programs. Here's some more over on the right corner. Here's all the home buyer mortgage programs. So they offer quite a bit. We'll just kind of cover these first three. And then if you guys want on your own time, you guys can kind of go in and take a deeper look and see. Some of these are specific, like if you're a teacher, if you're a police officer, if you're a veteran, if you're looking for public housing, they have renovation programs. They have programs if you have disabilities. They have mobile or manufactured home programs. So there's a lot of decent programs out there. But we'll actually see how decent these programs are based on what it's looking like to be able to get a house out there. So in short, the first part, CHFA, which stands for Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, recognizes that saving enough money to pay the down payment is the main barrier to home ownership for many first-time home buyers. If you have the monthly income to pay mortgage payments, but not enough money to pay the upfront costs, you may qualify for a low-interest loan to help you cover the down payment and closing costs. Borrowers can finance the down payment and closing costs with the DAP loan. A DAP loan is a second mortgage on your loan. So after you go through this whole process, you'll get set up with a lender. They'll go over all of the things that you need to qualify, you know, credit requirements, income requirements, your debt to income ratio. You know, they'll need, you know, some bank statements for the past few months. They'll need the last couple of years of your tax statements, all stuff that there's like a set list of things that lenders are going to require anytime you're going through this mortgage process. And it's really for them just to kind of see who you are financially, right? They don't know you personally. They don't know what your spending habits are, what your income is looking like, what your debts are looking like. So in order for them to kind of, you know, paint a picture of you, a financial picture, they need this information just to kind of see where you're at on the spectrum. So don't feel alarmed. Don't feel like it's them trying to be nosy. Lenders are supposed to be on your side, right? They're your, if you don't have the cash to be able to buy a property yourself, you need to go through a lender. So they're kind of that person that's helping you get into the property. It's your job to give yourself enough knowledge and background to be able to cipher through deals, run numbers. That's what my job is here for you guys, is to get you guys prepared for this thing. So you guys are getting a property that makes sense based on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make it your primary resident, if it's a resident that you're looking to potentially rent out, if you're looking to Airbnb it, if you're looking to just rent out rooms, whatever the case may be, it's on you to figure out what route you want to go. And then you have to start lining all your ducks up in order. And then you just have to start pulling the trigger and make things happen, right? So some of the benefits of using this DAP, the down payment assistance, is financing to cover down payment and closing costs, home purchase assistance up to $20,000, which is really good. I think some states are only up to maybe 10 or 15,000. So 20,000 is a really good amount. Low interest rate, second mortgage at 1%. For loan reservations dated April 30th, 2021 through December 31st, 2023. So that window is coming to a close here pretty soon. Some eligibility requirements. So you first must qualify for a CHFA mortgage from a participating lender, which I'll give you guys the information to. Let me send this in the group. Second, send this in the chat. So you guys can go ahead and let them do all the work for you. They'll just pretty much tell you what all they need. So click on the drop down, and then you guys can kind of go through. You can either find someone that's in your city that you're currently at, or if you're just kind of looking to get the ball rolling, just to kind of see maybe what some requirements are, you can reach out to any of these guys and they'll be able to help you out. They'll say, hey, you need to get with this person based on where you're at. We're not able to work for, you know, that county. whatever the case may be. But they have the knowledge to already kind of get to help you get the ball rolling. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. It's not going to cost you any money. You don't have to give up your social security number at that time. You're just getting basic information. You're just trying to get pointed in the right direction and get as much information as you can. Okay. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. And then they also will probably be able to connect you with agents and things like that. But if not, there's a tab up here where you can also reach out to agents as well. They have one that's specifically for, CHFA participating HUD counselors. They have ones that's for mortgage programs, all that good stuff. So the good thing about this website, unlike some others, is it's kind of like a one-stop shop. It leads you to everybody that you need to in this real estate process. In the very beginning, the most important people are going to be the lender and they're going to be your realtor. And then after that, if you decide to go like a property manager, find you a good CPA, have someone good that, a good landscaper if you don't do the landscaping yourself, and, start reaching out, find you a good plumber and all these other good stuff, right? And then next, after that, an eligible borrower must show his or her ability to repay the CHFA first mortgage and the DAP loan in order to qualify for assistance under this program. So you're not going to have to play the guessing game, right? Don't try to play the guessing game yourself and try to run the numbers and figure it out. Get with the lender, sit down with them, be upfront, be honest, because they're going to show you exactly where you're at, right? They're specialists at the number games, and specifically, based on your incomes and your debts and all that stuff, will be able to tell you, okay, based off of what you have going on right now in this moment, you qualify for a $400,000 mortgage. That doesn't mean go out and find a $400,000 home, but they're just letting you know, based on where you're at right now, this is what you qualify for. So when you guys utilize these programs, the whole point of this program is to get you in a home, right? Take advantage of the program first, get the dream home down the road, right? 5-10 years down the road after you kind of get the ball rolling. You got to get the ball rolling now to be able to get your dream home down the road, right? Especially if you're not financially already in that position, and you're just working on trying to get there. So keep that in mind. The most important thing is just getting the ball rolling. Additional considerations: your DAP loan must be at least $3,000, but no more than the minimum down payment required for your home. Usually 3% to 3.5%. Your lender will work with you to determine the amount of down payment required for your mortgage loan and verify your ability to repay both your first mortgage and the DAP loan. You will be required to attend a free homebuyer education class prior to closing. So these homebuyer education classes are usually 4 to 6 hours long. It's just to tell you a little bit about the program, tell you what to expect becoming a new homeowner, different programs out there to help you if you ever run into issues with possibly having to pay your mortgage to avoid foreclosure and things like that. So it's more to help you than anything else. So don't think it's going to be one of them things where there's going to be a big test and all that stuff and you got to have to pass it and all these things. It's more of a informative thing to kind of get you on the right track. So don't be scared of that. Some additional resources: your city, your town may offer down payment assistance in the form of low interest loans or grants. Be sure to inquire with your local Department of Economic and Community Development. Some employers also offer grants or loans, so check with your benefits office, and here's how you'll be able to apply. I sent you guys already the link for the lender closest to you. Or if you have any additional questions, you can contact CHFA. And this is also something I would recommend. Anytime that you guys can, I sent the phone number in the chat as well. So anytime that you guys are looking to get information or looking to start something new, go to the experts. Call these people and get as much information as you can. Honestly, I would call this number first and say, hey, I've seen the website. I'm very curious at utilizing the down payment assistance program. I wasn't really too sure about this or that. This is kind of my situation. This is what I have going on. What do you recommend? Because sometimes these websites don't necessarily have all the programs that are on there. People that work in, this is what they do every single day. So they know who to connect. They know lenders, they know realtors, and they might know other programs that might be able to benefit you better than this one. So it's more so of now, you're at the phase to where you're trying to collect as much information as you can. And think about it, you can get all this information for free. Um, you can contact the CHFA, talk to them for free. They already are pointing you where the lenders are at. You can already get that ball rolling. And then once you talk to that lender for the first time, you can be like, hey, do you know of any realtors that happen to work with these programs? Or do you guys have anybody that you guys work with that you can point me to? And they're like, oh yeah, I work with such and such, and they'll give you their number. And then boom, you literally just have a team. You have a team of 3. You have someone that has access to all these programs that you know and built a relationship with. You have someone that you're working with on the lender side, and now you have a realtor as well. Let people do the work for you, right? You have to do a little bit of the work to get the ball rolling, but this is their job. The lender doesn't get paid until you close on the deal. The realtor doesn't get paid until you close the deal. The person that's working at this office is getting paid regardless if you utilize this program or not. Most of the time, I've had great experiences when I call people and look for information, because most of the time they're bored. They're just doing the same stuff over and over. So when they have curious minds and they're like, oh, wow, this person really seems interested. Most of the time when they're in these type of positions, their goal is to help, right? Obviously, you have shitty people no matter where you're at, but people that are in these programs are supposed to be there to help and get knowledge. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that. All right. So that's for the DAP. So let's go on to the second one. Before I go on to the second one, did you guys have any questions about that? It's very to the point, upfront. It's really, I really like states like this where it's very clear and they guide people to the right places right away. And like I told you guys, the 2 most important people that are going to be with you during this process is your lender and your realtor, and they have ways to guide you to the right, not necessarily the right, but a lender and a realtor. If they're the right person, you'll kind of find that out as you go along the process. And you don't have to work with one specific person. If you call someone, you're just not really feeling their energy, or you feel like they're not giving you the best help or the help that you're looking for, call somebody else, reach out to someone else. Like I said, it's not going to cost you anything but a little bit of your time, that little bit of time that it's going to take you to reach out to a few lenders, reach out to a few realtors is going to pay you on the back end when you end up finding a great deal. You end up finding a great team that you're able to build that rapport with and potentially work with on your next deal, right? Let's see. No questions. All right, let's keep it rolling. All right, so the next one I clicked on was the second one right here, this time to own forgivable down payment assistance. So here's, anytime there's updates or anything like that, you always want to take a look at those real quick. So as of June 30th, 2023, the time to own program has been granted an additional 20 million in funding. This brings the total funding for the program to 80 million. The time to own program is not currently accepting new reservations. The program will begin accepting reservations again upon availability of new funding. So what does that mean for you? That means you need to be calling people and get your name on whatever list they have out there, right? Don't wait till you come back on here and see when it's available. The key to strike is right now. Like once you guys get all this information, tomorrow's Thursday, everybody will be at work. It's not a holiday. Get that ball rolling tomorrow. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to close on a deal or any of that. Hell, you might not even necessarily be even interested in getting a property. Call these people tomorrow and get all the information. Put your name in their ear, give them your email, give them, your name. You don't have to give up social security numbers. You don't have to pay anybody for this stuff. So get that, like, it's not hurting you to call tomorrow and get as much information as you can so you can start building your map, right? Building your roadmap. I always tell people, I love like the people that I care about. I love sitting down with them and hearing what their goals are and talking about goals. One thing that I learned from reading Atomic Habits, which is it's probably one of the best books out there. I know it's talked about a lot. And, sometimes when those type of books get blown up, it's really more fluff than anything. But I've read a lot of books. I've read, I don't know, probably, there was a point where I was reading like 5 to 10 books a month on mostly a lot of different topics, but mainly focused kind of like around money, self-improvement, mental and dieting and all that kind of stuff. But I will say, as far as trying to set good habits, Atomic Habits will really put you in a whole different realm of things if you actually apply what it is that he's talking about and doing. And one of my points to this is it's going to be hard for you guys to build a roadmap out if you don't figure out, okay, you can't just say, I'm going to get all this handled, I'm going to do all this. You need to figure out, okay, if it's going to be A to Z, you need to figure out what are all that steps in between. So, and I don't want to get sidetracked, but a good example could be, okay, the first thing is determining what route do you want to go with real estate. Is it something that you just want it to be your primary resident? You know, something that you can keep in your family. You know, maybe nobody in your family's ever owned a home. Maybe you have kids, you're trying to, you know, show them, you know, about ownership and start, you know, this process of generational wealth. Or maybe you're just looking to possibly generate some passive income down the road. Or, you know, you hear that wealthy people, you know, majority of them own real estate. So you're trying to kind of mirror what, you know, the wealthy are already doing. Whatever your why is, you need to figure that out, right? So let's say you're looking to get a property because you want to rent it out and eventually get income from this property. So the first step would be, okay, I want to get a property and I want to be able to rent it out down the road. And to get this property, I want to utilize a first-time homebuyer program. And also when I use first-time homebuyer program, I also want to get down payment assistance. Well, how can I do these things? I need to contact I need to contact a loan officer, and then I also need to contact a lender, right? So boom, those are two things I need to do. Once you contact, now it's like you don't have the next steps because you're not going to know what they need from you. So it's like once you contact them, you'll contact the lender and they'll be like, hey, okay, we need your past 2 years of W-2s. We need your last 3 months of bank statements. We need to see what your debts are. We need to see all this, and then they'll paint the picture for you. So it's like, boom, now it's like, okay, I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to get that. You send it to them. Now they're like, okay, everything is looking good. You can qualify right now for this, but if you were to get this debt taken care of, get this paid down, it will bump up what you'll be allowed. And then they'll be like, well, here's a number to a realtor that we work with. You are pre-qualified for 400,000. Take this letter to the realtor and now start looking for properties in that 300 to 350,000 price point. So boom, you did that. So then the next step from there would be, all right, contact the realtor, start working with realtors, either one or multiple. Say, hey, this is what I qualify for. This is what I'm looking for. Then they're going to start sending you properties. And then it's going to be on you to be like, okay, this one looks like it fits what I'm looking for. I need to go look at it. Then you'll have to schedule times to go look at the property. Then after you go look at the property, if it's something that you like, then you have to put in an offer. If the offer gets accepted, then now you'll have to start finding home inspectors. So a home inspector can go take a look and see what's really wrong with the property. And then after they come back with that, they'll let you know, hey, this is really damaged. This is really damaged. Then it's like on you at that point, if you want to try to negotiate the deal, if you want to back out of the deal, whatever the case may be. And then once you decide what you want to do from there, there's the next step and the next step and the next step, right? So it's like you have all these steps that you need to do, but you have to kind of build out this roadmap so you can eventually get to the end goal. And the end goal is eventually getting this property. Okay. So, yeah, that's where, like I said, all these, I'll be going off and forgetting where I'm at. But anyways, build that roadmap so you guys can get to where you guys are trying to go. All right. So that way you can start checking stuff off down the road. I have calendars and I have my notepad and my phone is full. I got notepads that I write stuff in. I have whiteboards all over my house. I literally have just stuff everywhere, but it's all very organized. It's, this whiteboard might be specifically for this. This whiteboard might be specifically for things I need to get done for the week or done for the month or done for the quarter. Like if you guys aren't visually seeing the things that you need to get done, it's going to make it very hard and you'll kind of just be all over the place. So maybe some of you guys are just excellent and you guys don't need reminders and you know what you need to get done. So you just get it done all the time. Hey, I want to be like you when I grow up. All right. So let's keep this thing rolling. All right. So for a limited time, CHFA will offer, I kind of don't even want to go through all this stuff because right now the program isn't even accepting reservations, but I just want to see what they're talking about. Let's just kind of go to the key parts. So for this one, when they do have availability, get your name on the list. 0% interest rate with no monthly payment required. 10% of the principal balance will be forgiven annually on the anniversary date of the loan closing until the loan is fully forgiven on the 10th anniversary. Financing to cover up to 20% down payment and up to 5% closing costs, which is really great. Loan amounts up to $50,000 for homes located in high or very high opportunity areas. They have, if you click on it, it'll be a list to show you exactly what area that is. Loan amounts up to $25,000 for homes located in areas other than high or very high opportunity areas. Some of the eligibility requirements for this is the time to own loan is only available to eligible applicants that qualify for and receive a CHA first mortgage. The time to own loan may also be used in conjunction with other down payment assistance programs. Applicants must be a current resident of Connecticut and able to demonstrate residency for the most recent 3 years. Very interesting. Very interesting right there. A lot of other states don't require that. Applicants who are not first-time homebuyers may also apply if they plan to purchase in a targeted area of the state. Borrowers may not own any other property at the time of the CHFA mortgage closing. Additional considerations: the minimum time to own loan amount is $3,000. Applicants must meet all CHFA mortgage, first mortgage, and time to own loan program eligibility and underwriting criteria. All this stuff will be done by other people. So this isn't stuff that you need to worry about, right? This is the thing that I love about real estate and why I feel like everybody should get into it, because you don't even have to do really most of the work. It's like the stuff that I told you guys, figure out what niche you want to be within real estate, let other people work for you and get all this stuff done. Like, you just have to have everything, like your finances, your credit. That's really about it. Just have your finances and your credit in order. Let everyone else do the work for you. Like this, you guys, real estate is so stress-free. Like, it sucks when things come up, like, you know, having to pay to get trees removed or having to get roofs replaced. The sucky parts suck, right? When you got to pay money or stuff, but it's like when the rents are constantly coming in, like I had an entire year that went by where I didn't even get contacted by my property manager. I didn't have to pay for anything. There was no issues. And I just got them payments every month. Like, I didn't even have to hear from no one, no complaints or about nothing, you guys. Like, I'm telling you guys got to get in this real estate game as quick as you can. Learn more about taking the first steps to becoming a homeowner. You can click on that. It'll bring it up. Additional resources. Like I said, call and figure out how you can get on the waiting list or see what's the update, see if this is still true. Sometimes people are lazy and they don't update it. Even though this says updated, we don't know how long ago this was done, or if, you know, they say they got additional funding. So, you know, what's up? Call and figure it out. Let me see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Did you have to pay the 10% for property managers or other percentage? No. So I did a whole class on property management. So 10% is about the nationwide average about what you pay. So if you're collecting $1,000 a month in rent, you're typically going to pay your property manager $100 a month. And that's just for them to handle everything, you know, make sure your tenants are paying on time, screening your tenants, listing your properties if they're vacant, contacting plumbers or electricians, or if any issues go wrong with your property, the resident contacts the property manager. And for me, I have it set in place. If it's anything under $1,000, I just tell them, don't even contact me, just send me the bill. And then anything over $1,000, I want more things done. I want multiple bids, and, you know, I want to, you know, make sure it's something that really needs my attention. So you can set it up to however you want. I personally like to use the mom and pop shop property managers. And what I mean by that is like a locally ran by maybe a family, people that have been in the area for a long time, something really small, not necessarily the big names. And it's like you have your pros and your cons to when you go with a mom and pop shop property managers versus when you go with like the big companies or the organizations. So when you go with the big companies and organizations like that, it's typically going to be 10%. And then they might have, you know, crazy stipulations. Like, for instance, there was one that was like, I had to pay, they wanted 10% of the rents. I had to pay them. It was like a $2,500, like a $2,500 deposit type thing that they keep to put towards if any issues come up. If rents were late, they take, after like a certain amount of months, after like 2 months, they start taking a percentage, like just crazy stuff. Like what? Like that doesn't even make any sense. But that's the thing with dealing with property managers and bigger ones. It's like they have their set standards, and it's kind of not really any wiggle room to adjust how they do their contracts and how they do their billing and stuff like that. When you work with mom and pop shops, you can kind of build more of a personal relationship. Things can be worked on. I don't even think I pay 5% of any of my buildings, which is crazy to think about. Hold on, let me think really quick. Yeah, that's like 3%. So most of mine are like 3 to 5%. Yeah, I don't pay anything higher than 5%. That's just because of literally what I said. You know, is I'm a good negotiator. I see the bigger picture. I look at longevity. Like I said, it's a money game. When you're dealing with money and you're talking numbers, if you can work out something that works for you and them, you know, lock in for a certain amount of time. Like, hey, you know, I plan on being on this for a while. I'm gonna need a property manager. I need someone for 5 years. Let's lock in some type of 5-year contract. You can do a lot of things when you're working with mom and pops that you typically can't do with the larger property managers. Let's see, where were we at? I think we went through all that, right? Yep, we did. Okay. And let's look at this next one right here. We'll take a look at some properties out in Connecticut. For those of you that are in Connecticut or close to it, can you put the city that you want me to look at properties when we go to that part? All right, so here's the HFA, and if nobody's from Connecticut, just somebody put somewhere, and we'll just kind of look and see what kind of deals are in your area. Just put whatever city you're in. If nobody's from Connecticut in here, HFA Advantage and HFA Preferred loan programs. The HFA Advantage and HFA Preferred mortgage programs are popular for first-time home buyers, as they can help borrowers save on insurance costs along with CHFA's below market interest rate. If you are not a first-time home buyer, excuse me, you may qualify for these mortgages if you are purchasing a home in a targeted area. So if you click on this link where it says targeted area, it'll take you to where all the targeted areas are. So some benefits to this program: no upfront mortgage insurance costs, which is great because when you do something, when you get like a FHA, or you know, if you're getting like a conventional and you're putting down less than 20%, you're going to have what's called a mortgage insurance premium cost. So you're going to have to pay, it's like 1.75% upfront, and then it's like a lump sum you pay upfront, and then it's a monthly cost that you have to pay by them giving you the loan. It's kind of like an insurance for them. If down the road you decide to stop paying, it's kind of like a little fee that you have to pay every month for them giving you this loan if you put less than 20% down. It doesn't have there's no mortgage insurance if you do like VA and stuff like that, or if you put more than 20% down. Lower monthly mortgage insurance costs, which is great. That you know, that can really eat away over time. And like I said, it's not like you're paying a whole lot, but it's still money that it's not going towards anything. It's not going to your principal. It's not going towards your interest. It's not money you get back down the road. It's literally just money that you're paying to them for giving you the loan, which is crazy because you're already paying, you know, closing costs and, you know, all the crazy interest that you're getting from you. It's like we get pimped left and right. Anywhere people look, you know, can make money, they're going to make money off of us. It's just a part of the game. It's part of the game. We just got to play it, and we just got to work it to our advantage. All right. CHFA down payment assistance program loans available. Eligible properties. This is what I like right here. Single families, townhomes, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac eligible condominiums, PUDs, which are planned unit developments, 2 to 4 unit homes. If you guys are going to use this, go for the big body, go for the 4. That's how I started. I love it. You get rent coming in from 3 doors. You live in 1. Eventually, in time, those rents are going to succeed whatever it is that you're principal and interest are, and then you're just going to be able to collect the difference after everything is paid, right? For some people, they'll get blessed and it will happen right away. For me, my very first property, it took me 3 months before I started making enough. When I first got my mortgage, I only had to pay it was like $250 out of pocket. And then when I had got my property, the tenants that were already there, 2 of them lease was up like a month or 2 months after I moved in, and then the other person was like 3 months. When their lease got renewed, their price that they were paying for their rents increased. So after about 3 months, I was cash flowing. It wasn't very much. It was only like, I think like $50 or $75. But at that moment, that's when I knew that was the way, right? Making that money, like getting paid. I was living rent free and making money. Like it really, I think for like an entire month, I was just like just tripping. I just couldn't believe that it was real. It was a possibility. I did it. Like I really felt like I cracked the code at that point. I'm just like, this is crazy. I don't know how everybody doesn't do this, but that's another story. So anyways, eligibility requirements: you must be a first-time home buyer or have not owned a home in the past 3 years. You must be the home must be your primary resident. Investment or vacation properties are not allowed, which is fine. There's always workarounds and there's always ways to get around things, right? The key is getting the property first, right? Follow the rules, get the property first. The fun comes down, comes down the road. The applicant's qualifying gross income cannot exceed the CHFA established eligibility income limits based on the household size. And they have all that right here. If you just kind of scroll down a little bit, and they'll tell you what the income, the income limits are, the town limits, all that good stuff. So if it's just you or someone else, this is what your income limit can be. If there's 3 or more, this is what it can be. And then it'll tell you like the county and all that stuff. So easy stuff for you guys to be able to go on there and check it out. Here's some things to consider. You will be required to attend a free home buyer education class prior to closing. The class will help you understand the home buying process and offer tips for maintaining your new home. Classes are held online and at locations across Connecticut. You may be required to pay mortgage insurance. The amount is specific to your individual circumstances. Your lender will review mortgage insurance requirements with you. In rare cases, you could be required to pay a federal recapture tax if you sell your home within the first 9 years and earn a profit, and your income exceeds the designated federal recapture tax income at the time of sale. You should fall into this category. You may be reimbursed by CHFA for taxes paid if you complete and file the required forms. Consult a tax professional if you have any questions on the recapture tax. Easy stuff. Man, they have it laid out so simple on here. So dope. I like when people just keep it simple and easy, just get to the point, forget all the fluff, forget all the extra stuff. So anyways, there's other programs on here. Some, someone just actually asked in the real estate chat about doing a 203K rehabilitation loan and stuff like that. That's just a way for you to be able to get into a property and get that property kind of renovated. Get your renovation costs and all that rolled into the loan. It's a little bit, there's more requirements for these type of loans, but they are very worth it. So the things that are harder to do, those are the things that I recommend you guys do, right? The easy stuff that's super simple to be able to get, everybody is doing those, and it's probably not going to benefit you the most, right? There are going to be benefits to everything, but those things that you can find that take a lot more or seem a little bit more complicated to get, those are the things you want to look into, because those are the things that are going to pay you more on the back end. So look at that kind of stuff. All right. Do you guys have any questions on any of the stuff that I just covered for Connecticut's down payment assistance, some of their first time home buyer programs, how to navigate any of that good stuff before I kind of just go on and look at some of these properties? And who lives in Connecticut? What a random ass place, right? Connecticut is cool though. I've been out there a couple times, but just random, like Maine and New Hampshire, all the way up there. Maine got some good seafood. Maine got some good crab. All right, no questions on that. Before we go look, we'll just look at Indianapolis. Or let's look at Orlando. I don't think we looked at Orlando yet. All right, let's go to Orlando. So for that person in Orlando, I guess we'll just take a look at single family. And Florida has a great um Florida has great programs. I think that was like one of the first um states I did for the first time homebuyer programs and stuff. They offer a lot. So let's look and see kind of what a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is looking like out there. 360, that's not bad. This is actually nice. That's the thing, man. For those of you guys that live in them areas where houses are outrageous, like look at this property. This is a nice ass house for only 360,000. That's crazy. Some nice ass cribs. Man, like West Coast and East Coast, Cali, like New York, houses are outrageous. It's funny. People always complain that live in those states. I'm like, man, leave. Like, if you're one time when I was out there, I was talking with with my Uber driver. I was like down in San Diego, and I was asking her like how often she Ubers and how she likes living in San Diego. How often does she go to the beach? And she was like, all I do is work. She was like, I Uber full time, and then she had a cleaning job that she did full time. So I'm like, when do you have any time for yourself or spend time with your family? She was like, I don't have any time for that. I have to just pay bills. It's so expensive to live here. And then I said, well, what is it that's keeping you in California? And she was like, it's California. I was like, okay, if that's how you feel, like, think about that. Like, living somewhere to where all you have to do is just work just to either live check to check or just barely survive, man, that's not it. We live in a really big country. We have a lot of possibilities, right? 50 states that you're able to live in. And, it's really on you to make that decision and get away from where you live or live somewhere where it's more cost friendly to where you can actually get yourself afloat and eventually above water, and then go back and live wherever you want to live. But it's like, imagine living somewhere your entire life where you're struggling your entire life. You're never going to get ahead because you've just been constantly struggling. And it's like, by the time you retire, you've missed all your good years, right? All, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, all you did was struggle and work and really couldn't even enjoy life how life is meant to be enjoyed. Like, my personal opinion is, life isn't meant to just be working and building up somebody's last name. We all got to do what we got to do to survive, and, you got to make money. But it's like, man, life is much more beautiful than just just working your ass off just to struggle and live check to check. Like, look at this, 290. Let's take a look at this. I'm gonna look at some multi-families as well. I'm just kind of looking right now and seeing what they got. How do you recommend finding property managers? What's up, Jalen? I personally look for local, like mom and shop type pops, like the mom and pop type shops. So I'll just go on Google, Google the area, right, wherever you're at. So we're looking at Orlando. So I would just do something as simple as like Googling property managers in Orlando. And then I would kind of look and see, which ones have some pretty good reviews. I would probably make a list of about 5 to 10. And then I would want to go meet them in person, talk with them, kind of see what their vacancy rate is, like how many units do they currently, manage that are vacant, how long does their average vacancy last, ask them how familiar they are with the market, see what their pricing structure is, see what they do, see what they don't do, see if they're willing to work, on anything. You're kind of just building a relationship, because even though I don't, I might not talk to my property manager for an entire year. She's in control of my property. So it's like, little things like paying them on time and maybe sending them a little something like a thank you, or, just little stuff, whatever. You don't have to necessarily do that, but then you just kind of build that relationship with them from there. But yeah, so let's take a look at this property, see what's going on over here. So something a little cozy property, nothing extravagant. Like I said, we're not looking for our dream home. We're just looking for potential. And I see a lot of potential with this property. A lot of potential. This could be a great starter home. This could be a really dope spot to put on Airbnb. Something to get in the family. It's like everyone's gonna, you're gonna need somewhere to live forever. And it's like, man, let's stop fattening other people's pockets. And it's crazy that I'm saying that because I need people to be renters or else it wouldn't work for me, right? But I can't be worried about that. Everybody, we can't take everybody to the top with us. My goal is to take you guys to the top with me. So it's like somebody's going to be a renter, somebody's going to be an owner. I want you guys to get the benefits of the ownership side of things. I want you guys to keep being renters all your guys' lives, funding somebody else's luxury, lavish life or whatever it is they're doing. It's like, I want you guys to be on that side of this. I want you guys to be able to, be where you want to be, put your family in a better situation, get out of the drama and chaos. Like, we're not meant to be in this drama and chaos. And it's like, shit is getting crazy. People are getting crazier. Everybody's just on edge and it's just getting wild out here. So anyway, here's a nice little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet. The good thing I like about using Zillow and a lot of the other ones is they have these calculators on here to kind of give you an estimate, which is crazy because 290,000 probably about 8 months ago would have probably only cost you about $1,500 a month versus what it's at now, just due to interest rates going up and stuff. But anyways, in the overview, it's just going to give you some basic information. This one does have an HOA fee, which sucks. I hate HOA fees. My next crib, I got to get away from HOA. HOA is supposed to be to keep the community nice and make sure that, people aren't just leaving trash out in the property and painting their houses crazy colors and adding all these things. So it's supposed to be there to keep the value up on your home. But I feel like it's more of an ego trip thing. People that work at HOA, I've had nothing but horrible experiences. Never mind. We'll get to that, but stay away from HOA if you can. It's more of a headache than anything. Let's see what they're talking about. Basic information: how long it's been on Zillow, how many people have looked at it, how many people have saved it, who the listing provider is. So if you want to call this person and get more information, you can. Let's see what else is on here. If you wanted to schedule a tour, you can do either in person or video. You can select the date on here. You can select the time. Here's more facts and features of the property. It's a 3-bedroom, 2 baths, 2 full bathrooms, kind of telling you about the heating, the cooling, what type of appliances are in there, just basic information type stuff, when it was built, what type of material and stuff like that. This information will be good. Like if this was a property you considered and you were just trying to get your numbers, you can call your lender and be like, hey, I found a property I think I like. I'm trying to see if I qualify for it. And then you could already start reaching out to like insurance companies and see what it would cost you a month to get this property insured. You're going to need insurance. You can start doing a lot of stuff because they're going to ask most of this information. Most of the time when you just give them the address, some of the times they should have the information already in there, but sometimes they'll ask things like, when was it built? What type of foundation is it on? What are the roofs? Is it shingles or whatever? So you can get a lot of information already on here. Even if not, all that stuff is figure outable. Let's see, it has an HOA, it's letting you know how much, letting you know other financial stuff, just all basic information. Some price history. It was last sold in 2014. Look at that. Not even a decade later, and this person is looking at anywhere from 200 to 300% return on their money. Think about that. This is what I love about real estate. 10 years. In 10 years, right? This person needed somewhere to live in 2014, right? So they bought the crib for 72,000. They lived in it for 10 years. And after everything is said and done, if they were to so happen to sell it for, let's say, 290,000, they paid their fee, the 2.5% plus the other percent that that your agent would get, right? So you take away, any type of fees, they're still going to be walking away on top 200, 180 to 200,000. I know a lot of people that don't even have 180, 200,000 saved up. So it's like a house is kind of like a future, it's like a future savings for yourself. Real estate does nothing but go up. I did a whole class showing you guys statistically the numbers. Like there's 100 years worth of data out there about real estate. Real estate has done nothing but gone up. Yes, there's times that it's dipped. Yes, there has been crashes. It doesn't matter. The class that I did, it was about every 10 years. Like if you buy a property and within a 10-year span, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. When I say up and down, I mean the value of what you bought it at. So let's say you bought it at 100,000. In that 10-year span, it might have dipped to 70,000. It might have went up to 120,000. It might have dipped to 80,000, and then 130, and then it might have dipped to 90, and then it might have got to 120, and then it might have got to 100 again, and then 140, and then 160, and then 170. So it's like over time, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's like the lower lows are going to start to get higher. So let's say you bought a property for 100,000. Let's say the lowest that it dipped in a 10-year span was down to 70,000, and then it's going to run up. And then if it has a dip again, let's say it might just get to 80,000, then it's going to run up. Then let's say it dips again, it's going to get to 90,000, then it's going to run up. And then it dips again, it might get to 100,000, which you originally bought for. Then it's going to run up. And then before you know it, now the lowest low is going to be 110,000, then it's going to run up. Then the lowest low is going to be 120,000, then it's going to run up. It's going to keep going up and up. You're going to have higher highs and lower highs over the span of when you have your property. That's just the way it works. And it's like, that's not even me just trying to predict the future. Just look back in time. If we get to a point to where all hell breaks loose and everything just crashes and the world is in complete chaos, which we were in, we kind of already had that, right? During COVID, it was to a point where everything shut down. Look how much home values dropped. But then what happened? Soon as things came back open again, homes reached an all-time high. The world was supposedly going to end, and businesses were shut down, and schools were closed, planes were closed. We got to be a part of history of some things that will probably never happen again. And at that worst, right? At that very worst, some people were still on top depending on when they bought their property. And then think about the people that held to 2021, the end of 2021 and some of 2022. People made a lot of wealth during that time. The people who didn't get scared made a lot of money, right? You got to be prepared. You'll never be able to hit a home run if you're not in the game. Anyways, down in the monthly cost section. So I tell people, when you guys utilize these calculators, whether it be Zillow, Redfin, whatever it is, it's just kind of an estimate. Everything is going to fluctuate based on the type of money you're putting down for your down payment, the type of interest rate that you get at that time, if you're utilizing any programs, all that stuff. If you have mortgage insurance or not, whatever your insurance is, the taxes may look different by the time you close. HOA may go up or down. So this is just a kind of a good estimate to give you like a general idea of what you would be looking at cost-wise. So if you were to put 20% down, which is 58,000, around 1950 is what you would be looking at if this is the interest rate you had, if this is what your property taxes end up being, if this is what your home insurance ended up being, if your HOA stayed the same, this is about what you would be. So when I help people close, I tell them kind of go back, look at these calculators and write the numbers down. And then when you close, how close is it? So all the deals that I've done, most of them are very close. It might be $100 or $200 above or below, just depending on, all those things that I just told you guys. So you can play with it. If you contact the lender and they say, hey, we can get you in at a 7.25 interest rate. So you can go on here, rechange it. And if you're going to put the 3.5% down, then we can see what those numbers change to. Okay. You see it jumps up. You're paying more monthly by putting less down and a different type of interest rate. And then you see you have this right here, the mortgage insurance. When we were doing when we put 20% down, we didn't have to pay this $229 a month. That's that MIP, that mortgage insurance premium that doesn't go towards anything. It's just for the lender getting you that loan pretty much. Okay. And then down payment assistance. So you can check the eligibility and see what type of programs are out there in Orlando. Telling you the schools that are nearby, what the ratings are. This is kind of something it is good. It's not really that important, but it's good for down the road if you ever decide that you want to rent out the property. Especially if you have a home like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath or something bigger. More times than not, if you're like in those type of properties, there's probably going to be a family that's looking to buy from you. And what are families looking at? They want to be in areas where schools are a little bit better and things like that. You can get more. There's a correlation with how good a school is and what you can get for rent. So we can take this same 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We literally can take this house, move it to whatever area of Orlando where the better schools are at, and it's going to be, the value is going to increase. Okay. You can look at similar homes in the area that's for sale around the same price point, or not the same price point, around the same beds, baths, square footage. They have more, information on lenders, kind of telling you a little bit about the area. And then they also have kind of give you a good idea of what homes are looking like on the block. So, there's some $400,000 homes. There's some homes that are, above 290, some homes that are below 290. Sometimes what you want to try to do is you want to find the gym on the block. So if most of the homes on the block are, let's say, 400,000, and you find a good property that's maybe 250,000, but it needs a little bit of work, and let's say it only needs 50 to 75,000 worth of work. And once you put in that work, the ARV, the after repair value of the house, will bump up to whatever the houses are in the neighborhood, right? If your home matches a lot of similarities, so if you have about the same amount of square footage, if you have about the same amount of beds, bath, you want to see, well, this home up the street is worth 400,000. They have a 3-bedroom and they have a 3-bath and they have a little, they have a little bit more square foot. Well, what can you do to kind of get yours up to that? Well, you can maybe add an additional bath. Some areas, when they get an appraisal, some appraisals will be square foot heavy, meaning that you get more based on the square footage, or some will be more based on the bed and bath. So it's just going to be based on your area, on what they're going off of. And then you can also look at homes that have sold recently. You can kind of get a good idea. That will kind of be like a good way for you to run simple comps without needing a realtor. Comps are just comparable, seeing what homes sold for recently in the area. That would kind of give you a better idea of if you're getting about what the market for that area is. So it's like if you were to look at homes sold in the area and most of them were 230,000, 240,000, they're all 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, about the same square footage within that vicinity, within a mile or two, you have more wiggle room to be able to go look, see that, hey, all right, this property is overvalued because other homes in the area were going for 230. Why do they want 290? And then that will help you with when you go in to put in your offer and things like that. All right. Show you some nearby cities and all that good stuff. Do you guys have any questions on any of that? Any questions on anything that I just covered? Let's see what type of multifamilies are available in the area. Take this off. any computer is moving slow. All right, so now it's crazy. Like Florida and Texas really be having them deals on homes. Really, the deals are like in the Midwest as far as like value for how much you pay for a property versus what you can get for rent. But you can really get some dope homes in like Texas and Florida for the low. But you got to live in Texas or Florida. So not me. Cannot do it. Can't do Texas again. No. I can visit though. Definitely enjoy visiting, but living, no can do. I've lived in a lot of places too. All right, so they got a few multifamilies on here. Let's find one. This looks like probably a duplex, one bed, one bath on each side. 475, 420, 3 beds, 2 baths. What's this one? 2 beds, 2 baths, 275. Let's take a look at this one and see what it's talking about. What's wrong with Texas? Everything. I had some crazy experiences in Texas. I lived in San Antonio, and then I lived in Abilene, Texas. Abilene was the absolute worst. Oh my God, I hated it out there every single day. And then when I go out and visit Houston, like it's cool. Like I enjoy it. I enjoy my time out in Texas. Don't get me wrong. Just personally, I just can't live out there. The vibes, the energy from the people. Just I always feel like when I go down south, I feel like I go back in time all the time, and I don't like that. Oh yeah, Abilene is definitely racist. My very first day. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a quick little story. So my very first day in Abilene, which was the time frame doesn't matter. So my very first day in Abilene, I was stationed out there. There's an Air Force base out there, and so the way how the Air Force works is you go to basic training, and then after basic training, you go to like a technical school. Whatever your job is, you go and you get training. So at my technical school, there was like 5 of us who were going to Abilene, and 2 of the guys I ended up getting pretty cool with, and they both just so happened to be from Georgia. One dude was from a part of Georgia where it was all white people, and then the other dude was black. He was from a part of Georgia where it was all black people. So like the white dude, he went to all white high school. The black dude went to all black high school. They were from like 2 different areas in Georgia, but we all kind of clicked. We all got cool. We all played ball together, and we got pretty close. So when I first got to Texas, when I first got to Abilene, I didn't have a vehicle or anything like that. And the white dude that was from Georgia, he had drove his truck from Georgia to Abilene, and so we were all in the dorms hanging out first day, and it's like we hadn't seen each other for like 3 weeks, because after you have your technical training, they allow you to like go back home and do all that stuff. So I went home, they went home, and then we all just kind of happened to get there at the same time. So the very first day I get there, I see him, and we're chopping it up, and he was saying how he was getting ready to go to the store. And so we were in his truck, and we went to this gas station right outside the base. Mind you, this is my very first day in Texas. And he gets out of his truck, I get out of my car, and I go in the store, and I'm like getting some water or something like that. And these 2 guys got in this truck, and they kind of got out the same time we did. And there was a dude, he was saying some crazy, I can't even say everything that he was saying on here, but it was like we almost got into a fight in the store. But the thing was, the things that he was saying, I couldn't really hear what he was saying, because it's not like he was saying directly in my face. The guy that I was with, he didn't know that we were together. So he was saying stuff about me and kind of to me without me kind of hearing or really knowing what's going on. The guy that I was with at the time like went off on these dudes. It was a crazy experience. I'm like, what the being from the West Coast, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like the West Coast racism versus down south racism is way different, but that's a whole nother story for a different day. But anyways, it was just literally always instances. And the thing about me is like I keep to myself. You know, I don't really be trying to be in drama. If I'm out, I just try to be out, have a good time, all that other stuff. But it was like every time there was just always a problem after problem after problem. I'll tell you guys another story. They had a bar out there called I think it was called like good Cadillacs and guitars or something like that. It was like some little hole in the wall bar. And I was with the same dude again. We had went to this bar. This shit was like in the movie. When we walk in the bar, they were like playing some country ass music. I kid you not, the music like screeched, and everyone just looked at me so crazy. It was probably one of my most awkward situations I've ever been in. That shit was really crazy. It was like some shit you see in a movie, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It was very unwelcoming. So yeah, we just dipped after that. Like that shit was crazy. I can't remember. I think the spot was called like Guitars and Cadillacs or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I'm cool off Texas. Like I said, I'll visit. I don't mind. But anyways, let's get back to this stuff. This looks like it's a duplex. It's looking like a 1 bed, 1 bath. This is what it's looking like. There's one entrance there. Small little living room. Decent size kitchen and stuff. Not bad for just being a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I hate the tile style floor. And look at this, the carpet in the bathroom. Insane. That is, man, that is crazy. But all stuff that can be, this is, like I said, all minor stuff. I'm looking more, making sure there's, nothing major that needs to be done. No major work. I mean, you never really can tell just by looking at pictures. They're always going to want to put the best pictures on here. Just to get a general idea. Let me see what the numbers are on this. A duplex, only half duplex is for sale. Okay, seller doesn't own the other half. I was curious why it was 274. So this, no need to even look at this unless you can get the whole thing really. Let me see what else is on here, because you guys seen them other ones were like 420 and stuff like that. So I guess that's about the price point. Let's see if this one is different. HOA fee, not bad. Welcome home, beautiful half, another half duplex. So with that, yeah, we want the whole thing. We don't want half. So it's looking like if you want a full duplex in the Orlando area, that's not like a A-class type property, which means like just super brand new. You're going to be looking at that 400. It's looking like 400 to 500,000 price range. So basically, what I would do after that, I would go through and just kind of analyze it. I would go on to like rentalmeter.com, just kind of see what I'd be able to get for rents. That'll kind of get you like a good idea if it's something that you want to pursue or not. So for me, I kind of like to stick to properties that are about the 1% rule. So I like properties that are getting at least 1% in rents or greater than what the value is of the property. So if a property is 100,000, I want to at least be able to get 1,000 in rent. So if it's 400,000, I want to be bringing in at least 4,000 in rent. So I don't think these properties are able to bring in that 4,000 range just based on Orlando not being a high area. And we can do something quick, like I'll just take 32806. We'll see. 32806. Let's do 1 bed, 1 bath. Let's analyze. So the median is about 1,500. So you can pull in about $3,000. So it, the 1% rule doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be profitable on the property or anything like that. It just helps a lot with everything else that you're going to have to pay for, put money aside for, vacant. You're gonna have to put money aside for, future vacancies. You're gonna have to put money aside for, landscaping. You're gonna have to put money aside for maintenance. You're gonna have to put money aside. So that's what I like to gauge at, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's how you have to start out. So I want to go down and put in, yep. So even in 2020, so that's about accurate. Back in 2020, rent was about $1,100 a month. So that's not too far off. And then that's what, 20% down. So now we talk about 3.5% down. Watch the difference. 4,000 a month. See what I'm saying? So if you're paying cash, it's not necessarily the 1% rule. Kind of necessarily doesn't have to apply too much. If you're putting 20% down, you don't necessarily have to worry about it. But if you're utilizing any of these programs and things like that, that's why. So without even kind of going deeper into the numbers, that's literally why. Let's see. So if you own half of the duplex and the whole roof break, how does that work? That's what insurance is for. Or if the whole thing needs repair. So yep, that's what insurance is for. Hopefully, when you get your inspection, they'll look at the roof. They'll kind of let you know what the life expectancy is left on the roof. And a place like Florida, specifically Orlando, there's a lot of winds. There's certain things that help damage roofs faster, and wind is one of those things. So if you have like a crazy windstorm or whatever be going on out there in Florida on the coast, look and see what's in your policy and see what's covered. So that way, if there is like I literally just had to go through this with one of my properties. It's in a very windy area. It's in my insurance policy that if winds reach up to a certain amount, I can claim something. If there's then any repairs need to be done, like if a lot of shingles get blown off or things like that. So always make sure you guys are looking to see what's covered in your policy. So that way, when big things do go wrong, that's what the insurance is for. Go with a reputable, good home insurance policy. I've had to learn the hard way when it comes to insurance with either your car or your property. Just go with the companies that are known to be good. I guess that's going to be all, whatever your preference is or whatever you like, but don't go the cheap route with insurance companies. They're already a scam as it is, in my opinion, but we got to get them. It's part of it. So make sure you guys go with someone who's good, someone who's reputable, someone who's known for kind of being hassle-free. Yeah. All right. Do you guys got any questions for me before we wrap this thing up? Can you link the Maryland info you went over in the chat, or exactly where to find it? What Maryland info? What Maryland info are you talking about exactly? Oh yeah, it's in the Well Squad University section. So if you go into the Discord, go into the information section, it's like the very top chat, go in Well Squad University, and then go in there where all the classes are, and then you'll be able to find it in there. No problem. All right. Do you guys have any other questions for me at all? Like I said, this is the time for any questions you may have. If there was something maybe you didn't fully understand, like I said, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, cool. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank all of you guys that attended class, taking the time out of your day to come get this knowledge. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something new, take away something from this class. That's my goal, is to just always try to give you guys some good information, lead you guys down the right path. We're heading towards crazy times. I'm telling you guys, things are getting, I mean, just look at what's happening around us. Do everything you guys can to focus on the things that are important for you and your life, right? It's going to look different for everybody. But the more time you give to things that are non-important to you, it's keeping you from where you want to go and the things that are important. We have a lot of distractions put in front of us every single day between social media, individuals, news, TV, just all the above, right? It's a lot of distractions to kind of keep us just to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And that kind of keeps people in a cycle. It kind of keeps people in a loop. If you don't remove yourself from the BS and the things that are going on, you'll forever be caught up in it, right? Um, change the individuals you hang around, change the people that you follow on social media, like really focus in on the things that really matter and mean the most to you. And the sooner you guys can do that, the sooner you'll kind of be on the path and headed towards the direction that you want to be. And I hope whatever goals you guys have, whether it be financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, for you to be able to focus and spend time on the things that are really important to you, because life is short. People fall out left and right? We don't know when our expiration date is. So with that being said, you really got to treat every day like it matters and like tomorrow is not going to come, because you might not even make it out of today, right? Same thing goes for the people that you love and care about. We don't know when their expiration date is. So, focus your time and energy towards the things that matter for you guys. And I don't know what that is. I know it will look different for everyone, but the sooner you can do that, the better off you'll be, the happier you'll be, and you'll get the best. You'll make the best of your time that we have here, right? But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. We're wrapping up September, headed into October. This year is really kind of almost over. Like, I always feel like I'm saying that every time I come on here on the class, I feel like we're about to wrap up the year or about to wrap up the month. It's like time is flying by. Time is going to keep going and keep passing us by, regardless if you decide to handle your business and do what it is that you need to do. Just focus on just getting better a little bit by little bit. You don't have to climb the whole mountain in one day. Just make sure that each day you're taking some steps up and climbing up that mountain. Eventually you'll get to the top, and when you do, that's when the fun begins, right? So you guys got access to me. If you guys ever have any questions, or if you guys ever need to reach out, please feel free to hit me up within the Discord. Make sure you guys are checking out the other classes that we have. We have six classes a week. A lot of different great topics that will help you work towards that financial freedom, if that's your goal. Help you work towards time freedom so you can do whatever you want with your time, and to help you with location freedom to be wherever it is you guys want to be. If you guys seen what I posted on social media lately, I'm gearing up to spend majority of my time abroad. I enjoy it a lot overseas. I've lived in multiple states. I've lived in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've lived in 7 states. I've been all over, the United States. It's cool. A lot of states offer a lot of different things. A lot of cool and fun stuff out there. It's for who it's for, right? A lot of other places have a lot of great things that they offer and do. You'll never know where's for you if you don't get outside of your box and explore and see the beauties that the world has to offer. A lot of amazing places out there. And where you're at might be what works best for you, but if it doesn't, just know there's a lot of other places that you can be, that you can go, that might fit you and suit you better. Might be better for you if you have family and kids and you want to raise them in areas that you don't have to worry about a lot of things that we have to worry about here, which is sad, unfortunately. But like I said, I don't make the rules. I just kind of play this game. I see what cards are dealt and I just kind of move accordingly. All right. So that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I appreciate all of you guys. I hope you guys were able to take away something from this class. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your evening.